So let's go ahead and click on Create World. And of course this is the 1.5 version. And we're going to create a survival world. And we're going to try and give you a few tips and tricks in case you're new. And if you're an old hand at playing Minecraft, we're also going to try and give you much more to work with. I've been finding out that some people that have been playing for a while are unaware of features that have changed over the time, and so they're avoiding doing things because the old ways were different than the new ways. But we'll try and get you worked in that way. First, take a look around where you spawn in at. Right now we're spawned into a taiga, which means we've got a bunch of these spruce trees. I'm going to use the W key to move forward, A to move to the left, and D to move to the right, and S to move backwards. First we're going to have to collect a bunch of wood before we do anything else. So just go ahead and start punching a few trees. Now after you get the wood out, the leaves are going to start to disintegrate. So go ahead and put that into our crafting by pressing the E to open up this window. And we're going to turn them all into planks. Now we're going to take the planks. We're going to take about half the planks by right clicking on that, and we're going to put half in this window. We're going to right click on it again to split it in half and make sticks. Okay, now that we've made that, we're going to take the remaining wood planks and we're going to right click and pass it over each one of the crafting boxes, and that's going to make a crafting table. We're going to take this crafting table, we're going to hit escape to get out of there, and put it down by right clicking on the ground. Now if you notice we just picked up a branch. That's good because we'll use those later on. So we're going to press E to go in here and we'll put the branch up in this other area. Now we're going to click here and I'm going to make a few things. First I'm going to make a pick, which is going to be very useful. We're going to need that for collecting stone. So we're going to make a wooden pick. These are kind of weak at this point. We're going to make a wooden sword by putting a stick there and 2 planks. We're going to make a shovel. Again, 2 sticks and 1 plank this time. And if you notice, now we're out of planks. I would make an axe, but we're kind of short. So what we're going to do is, let's find another tree, fairly short tree, and we're going to go ahead and collect some more wood. We only have a little bit of time to start out on the first day, so if we can get more things done during the first day, we have a chance of having a more productive evening. If not, well, we can just hide out for our first night and then come back and do some more the next day. Okay, 1 second. I place those by pressing right click while pointing down and jumping up. And of course the jump button is the space bar. So now we're going to take those back. Going to collect this stick. Now I'm going to make myself, what I'm going to leave is I'm going to leave 3 of these just in case. I'll explain that in a little bit. But we're going to do that clicking again. And let's make an axe. An axe is made with 2 sticks, 3 planks. Now I'm not going to have to make anything else for a while, so let's go ahead and pick up our table by punching it. And we can go ahead and punch grass while we're here. And what I'm hoping to find here is some seeds. It's starting to get a little late, so we're going to have to head in soon. And head in is just a relative term of we're going to have to dig a hole. Are you kidding me? It's my first day and there's already, hear the spider out there. Haven't seen any animals yet. Okay, let's see. Sun's straight up, or about midday. We're going to need to find a place to hide out for the evening. And I was hoping to find some coal, but I haven't seen any yet. But hear that sound? That's indicative of there's a cave nearby. Oh yes. Okay, we got a cow. Take out your sword by pressing 2 because it's in the 2 slot. Walk up to the cow and strike him a few times. and he'll fall over and he'll give you some steaks and maybe some leather as well. Okay, now we probably don't want to kill off too many cows, but now that we've got like a food, you can also use your mouse button to scroll around. Let's go ahead and there's 2 cows. Okay, good. This would be a nice place to start. Okay, let's start out near here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a place like, okay, here, this looks like it'll work. And you can collect snowballs if you're in a tiger like this. Okay, now I can take out my pickaxe for the stone, and you notice when I break down stone I'm going to get cobblestone. Now it's almost evening, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click shift and click on this to move it up into the main area, because I don't need those right now. And I'm going to take and move the dirt down here, and I'm going to move the stone, the dirt down there, and I'm going to select the dirt and this. If you notice here, there's a 1 block by 1 block. This will keep any monsters, also known as mobs, out of this area. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my shovel again, and I'm going to dig into here a little bit. Sometimes you'll find coal doing this, which is what I'm hoping to do. If not, I want to collect at least a bunch of cobblestone. I'm going to need 8 cobblestone to make a stove or a furnace. And then I'm going to replace all these wooden tools with stone tools, which are better. So let's just dig out a bunch of cobblestone. Once we got like about a good amount of cobblestone, let's go ahead and place our crafting table down. We're going to select our cobblestone by left clicking on it. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go in a circle around the outside edge, and this will make me a furnace. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I want to replace my tools with stone tools. So first I'm going to make a, click once, make a shovel. So go ahead and take that, move that over there. Then I'm going to make a pickaxe by, again, going across. Same pattern you used when you made them for the wood tools. I'm going to make an axe. And again, I'm just clicking on the right click and holding down the right, and then make that. I'll keep the wooden sword, so I'm not going to put that over on the other side, but the sword, only 1 handle. And I'm going to make a stone sword in there. That'll keep me going for a little while. Then we're going to place our furnace down, and what I need is some light. Because I haven't found any coal, I'm going to make charcoal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these spruce wood here, and I'm going to take and throw a wooden tool underneath here. If you notice, the wooden tool is going to be consumed and disappear, and the wooden tool will burn 1 piece and make charcoal out of the wood. And another piece, and then my 3rd tool is going to make me my 3rd piece of charcoal. So after I get my 3 pieces of charcoal, I'm going to make torches. The torches I'll use to light up this cave. And as I got cows close by, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go ahead and click that charcoal. We're going to put it on the crafting table. And this you can actually do in your... So what I'm going to do is I'll make one here, but I'll show you. You can make these as well in your... If you press E, bringing up your inventory, you can place your sticks in the bottom here and place your... and do the same thing. Anything that only requires a 2x2, you can do that with. So I've got some raw beef here. I'm going to want to cook that up. Raw beef is only going to heal me up by 1 health point, or it's only going to do that for 1. So I'm going to go ahead and place like 3 or 4 of these in here, and I'm going to put the raw beef above. And if you notice, it's going to consume 1 of the wood planks, and 1 of the wood planks is going to cook up about 2/3. So you're going to lose about 2/3 per each steak that you cook up. Let's go ahead and move the dirt up here while we're at it. So what we're looking at is we're going to lose 3 planks to cook up these. There we go. We still get to keep other planks, so go ahead and take those. Now we got some food. Now what I want to do is I want to place a torch, and the torch will make sure that it doesn't get dark in here. Notice how everything got lit right up. And then we can spend the rest of our evening making and digging out a hole. Now, you may have noticed that there's above ground, below ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around, and I think I'm going to build my home below ground. Now there's a couple different ways of doing this. I'm going to try and give you a way that's gonna... So let's go ahead and we'll just dig it out from this side. It'll make it easier so we don't have to count. I'm just going to make myself a big entryway here, and this way I can bring animals or put storage or do things up here temporarily until I get my underground home ready to go. So just go ahead and keep on digging this out, and we're going to make a nice big square area. Now I didn't find any sheep. Generally, if I can on the first day, I'll try and kill myself 3 sheep. For each sheep that you kill, you're going to get a piece of wool. And with 3 pieces of wool and 3 wooden planks, I can make a bed. And with a bed, I can just take the first night and sleep. If you notice, it's getting dark out there. And we got a cow that's already showing interest in our home. That's fine. Now, if this opening was too high, monsters such as skeletons, zombies, or creepers can get in. And if it was only 1 high but 2 wide, then spiders could get in. Now, that'll become a little more useful later to know. But essentially, we want to kill a few spiders, because every time we kill a spider, we've got a chance of getting string. And string is going to give us the opportunity to make a bow, which is going to be very useful later on. So go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to start building a stairway down. Now, hopefully, so just kind of one. So go ahead and just dig it down. So 1, 2, and we've already found ourselves a cavern. Now you're going to find a bunch of these in the game. Now the question is, how dangerous is it? Small caverns have very few things and cannot cause us much harm, but a big cavern may be a lot of exploring. Now chances are, depending on your experience level, and if you can, like right there, that we just saw was a skeleton. Now what I can do is, skeleton can't jump up because it's 2, but I might be able to hit him from up here. So I might be able to kill the skeleton. And there. So just use the edge to go ahead and kill him. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen for a second. I don't hear anything. Take my sword, put it in my hand, and I'm going to go down here and take a look. See how dangerous it might be. Now this could be very dangerous or not so dangerous, depending. Now depending on what you've got, take out your torches. Okay, see, there's a, if you don't want to go exploring, just go ahead and seal it up. Now nobody can come up from that direction, come down from that direction at least. Now go over here, put your sword back in your hand. Now you might want to go down here and look a little bit. Now if you're feeling a little scared, what you can do is you can just do what we're going to call, a lot of people call it the sissy bar. So as I said before, they need a space too high to come through, or spiders need too wide. But we're not going to worry about spiders too much, because we could actually want there, we actually like to have a spider or 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a torch here. That'll keep everything lit up, and if everything's lit up, no more monsters can come in here. They won't just show up. Now I might just put one there to how we're really well lit up. Now what I've got is I can continue my staircase. This place is reasonably safe at this point. And can leave it open like this, and then I can come back later and go exploring when I'm ready for it. So go ahead and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, we're going to keep that same pattern. Now, just to make sure we keep everything lit up, burn down to 5 torches. Now we don't need to put torches so close together, but it's better to have a few too many placed out. If you run out of torches, you can always just stop digging for the evening and come back to it another time. Now this, if you notice, is different than this. This is stone, and this is gravel. So I'm going to take out my shovel when I see gravel, and I'm going to keep using the pickaxe for the stone. And of course, on the hotbar down here at the bottom, you've got the pickaxe, the sword, the shovel, and the axe, and you can switch between them by pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9, which gives you the torch that I placed there. Or you can also use the Windows scroll mouse to go through them one at a time, whichever you feel more comfortable with. So I'm going to go ahead and keep digging down. And it's dark enough now that I want to put another torch. And there. That is something I wanted to see. Okay, this is iron ore. So when I dig that out, I'm going to get a piece of iron ore. So we'll get that in a minute. Now if you notice, they usually come in groups of blocks. And the block is usually about 4 by 4 or 3 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and dig that out. And just to avoid confusion of thinking that this might have been a cavern, I'm going to fill that in. Now I only got, if you can see, only got 4 that time. Usually those come in groups of 8, but not always. So I've got more stone, and if you notice, my pickaxe now has a short green bar. You notice this axe, which I haven't used, has no little bar underneath it at all. That's because it's brand new. But the shovel and the stone sword and the pickaxe all have various bars underneath them, and the pickaxe is that red. That means that this tool is about to break. What you'll notice is now the bar is gone, and there we go. That's something else we wanted. Just in time too. Okay. The pickaxe has no bar, which means after like 1 or 2 more pieces, it's going to break. So I'm going to take this, and that's my coal. That's what I generally use to make torches or to cook things. But we had to find it first, and usually these come in rather large veins. So we just go ahead and break. And now you notice that we got 3 pieces of coal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up top, and I'm going to if you notice, I just left that open so I could see through, and I closed that one up so nothing could get down. So this keeps me safe in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 more torches, 2 more sets of torches actually, and that's going to give me 11 torches. And I'm going to take about 6 of these, and I'm going to make some more sticks, and I'm going to start making multiples. So I'm going to make myself 3 pickaxes. So I'm going to just right click, hold, and go scroll across. Same here again, just right click, go across, and then right click, scroll, go across, and there, I've got myself 3 pickaxes. You might ask, why 3? Well, you saw that I was just down there and it broke and I had to come back up. This will avoid me from having to come back up in the future. Now what I can do is, if I want to, I can cook my iron ore, but 1 piece of coal is going to cook 8 pieces of iron ore. Right now I've got 4. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to take my spruce planks. This time I'm going to try something else. It won't show big difference here, but say for instance, if I try to make stairs, I'm going to left click, go in a stair-like pattern, and you notice it equally divided and left the left over in my hand. Now I'm going to use these stairs for getting back up and down, because every time I jump I use up food, but I don't want to use up food, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. And to ensure that I don't end up with a full hand, I'm going to take and right click, go in the square box like we did for the furnace, and this time I'm going to make a chest. I'm going to take this chest and place it down. Same way we place this down, we're just going to right click, and then I'm going to take the things that I don't need on me. Snowball, the dirt, the seeds, the bone, the saplings. I'll take and put that there. I don't really need this wooden sword, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take and drop off the gravel. Although the gravel some people like to keep. I can't use the arrows yet because I haven't made a bow. Don't need the leather yet. And 2 pieces isn't enough to make any leather or anything like that. And I'm going to take the iron ore because I'm not ready to cook it yet. And I'm going to take the coal as well. We're going to dig out some more when we go down below, but I'll go ahead and leave that there. Now, if you notice, it's daytime outside again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press 3, and I'm going to go collect some more wood. I'm going to need a lot of wood for what I'm doing, so go ahead and stick close to your home, because especially now it's going to be really easy to lose where you're at, and you'd hate to lose all that stuff and all the work you've already performed. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut down 2 or 3 trees. Now if you notice, my food bar is down by 1 already, but I haven't eaten, and there's a very simple reason for that. As I told you before, every time I eat a piece of steak, it's going to heal me up by 3. And if you notice, when I'm using the stone tool, this tree is cutting down a lot quicker than before. And we're going to just go ahead and use the so I'm going to go ahead and get that back. Now, I got 2 cows around. Now, one of the things I'm going to want to do soon is start growing some crops. Now, I only had, so go ahead and grab the seeds. Snowballs, they're not going to be very useful right now, and I don't want to kill all the cows because I want to have cows around. Now, one thing I might want to do, now that I'm starting to get a few more resources, put a torch there. That way it's easier to find if I ever get turned around or lost. But on the first few days, I'm probably not going to want to travel too far. So when we go back inside, I'm going to plant up these seeds. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back inside. Don't want to go too far in our first few days because we could cause ourselves troubles. But what I'm going to do is, now that we're finding coal, I'm no longer going to need these. So I'm going to take this spruce wood, I'm going to convert it all into planks. I get a bunch that way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that right click hold and drag across in a pattern like that in the rectangle, and it's going to make a door. Now I'm going to take that door, put it down here, press 5 to select it, and there. That'll keep any monsters out. While we're at it, if we want to, let's go ahead and the other option, which I'll show you now, is going to be right click, make half, and we're going to make as many sticks as we can, which is going to make 43. Now I'm going to do this, 4 there, and then I'm going to take 2 planks, and this is going to make a fence gate. Now this, if you notice, I placed the door there before. I'm going to take the door out. When it comes to animals, I'm not going to be able to bring any cows in through that. But if I place this fence here, this fence is 1.5 blocks high, so it'll keep monsters out. I mean, when it comes to skeletons, they'll still be able to fire arrows through this hole, but that will keep monsters out, but I'll also be able to get the cows inside later, which is something I'd like to do. Now, you saw the fence pattern. It was stick, 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 and then slabs in the middle. If I replace those slabs with sticks, instead I get fences. Now I'm going to use these fences for when I do this, because I'm going to be basically building down. So I want like 5 fence pieces, which means I'm going to need to do that for 2 more. And So I just do that right click, hold and drag and twice, and I'm going to make more fence post. And this will ensure that when I bring cows in, that they're not going to fall down the stairs and get hurt. So go ahead and put those in there, which keep them safe. I'm also going to, I want to plant 7 of those, so I'm going to bring out 7 dirt. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a few torches here. 1, 2, 3. And that'll keep... In order to get the cows to follow me, I need wheat. At this point, I don't have any wheat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow some wheat. And what we're going to do first is we're going to take and place the dirt down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll drop off the extra piece. And we don't need those either. So now I need to make myself a hoe. What it's going to do is take 2 sticks, and then I'm going to go the first 2 spots, and that'll make me a stone hoe. So let's go ahead and now just take the seeds and right click on each one of those, and it'll place them. If you notice, this is kind of dry, so it turned back to dirt really quick. Now it'll stay because the plants are growing. But if you notice, this is dry, which is not really that great of a thing. So what I'm going to need is water, but water will make them grow quicker because the soil becomes saturated. But in the meantime, I'll just let this grow, and hopefully we'll get some wheat in a reasonably short amount of time. I've got 3 steaks, so I'm pretty good on food for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stone hoe, leave that behind, and we're going to go back to mining, and hopefully we'll get something else. So let's go ahead and go down, and we can just, if you want to, when you go through, just look, see if there's anything interesting happening. If no, then just continue on down, and we can go ahead and dig out this coal. Let's just go ahead and dig it all out. Is that there's veins of coal are actually usually rather large. Now there's 2 options here. One, we can leave this as it is, or as many of us like to do, just fill it back in. If I leave it open, what I would do is I'd place a torch down towards the end to ensure that it was lit up well enough that there would be no mobs or monsters spawning down there. Now we need to dig out that, keep our chain really nice and even. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're back to stairway along the bottom, stairway across the top. And we're just going to continue on down the stair path. Now you might notice that it's starting to get dark, so we're going to place another torch. And we've already caught another vein of coal. So let's just go ahead and keep digging as if it wasn't there, and we'll trace it out and we'll get it all. But this way we can expose the whole sides of it. Okay, now we can see where it's going. We'll go ahead and dig this out. Now, don't convert all your coal into torches when you can, because if you do, then you will have problems with cooking your items that you want to cook, such as iron, gold. But what we're going to do is we're just going to dig at ace out, and then we're going to fill up on torches here for a bit, so we don't have to worry about that. And you notice I still haven't used the steps. We'll do that in a few minutes. Okay, this probably just these 2 pieces here. And you'll get a kind of a feel for what a vein will look like after a while, so don't worry about that too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E to open up my crafting area. If you notice, I have no armor on yet still. So I'm going to take the coal, place it here, and I'm probably going to just take like how about 10 coal? So we'll just go place 10 up there. And place the sticks below and make there. We got 46 torches. We got plenty now. And don't worry about it if you don't have 46 yet, as long as you keep having torches. If you don't, just kind of go upstairs and hide out for a little bit and come back to this the next day, cut down a few trees, make some more charcoal if you need to. Most people don't like making charcoal because they consider it a waste, but I have no problems with making charcoal. I think it's perfectly acceptable if you're having troubles finding coal. If you keep digging though, you will find coal, so don't worry about it too much. And usually once it starts getting like this dark, just go ahead and place another torch. Now one thing you might want to start doing is paying attention to what depth you're at. And you might wonder, well, how am I going to pay attention to what depth I'm at? I'm not even sure where to go, how I'm going to find out that at all. It's not like I'm going to go up and find water level and then just find this out. So the trick is to press the F3 button, or on max to function F3. And this is going to bring up this screen here. It's going to tell you that, like in this case, that I'm running Minecraft 1.5. I'm getting 67, 68 frames per second. The chunk updates. A chunk is a area of ground going up and down, and 16 by 16. The next row, probably not really useful to you at this point. If you notice the E on the next line, that's the entities. If you notice there's 114 entities and 5 of them that I'm looking at. 4, 6, 8, 15, 30. Notice the number varies where you're pointing. Don't really worry about the next 2 lines. Now going down, your X coordinate, that is going to be one set of coordinates. Your Y is your actual height. So if you notice, we're at 35. Usually if I'm going to build an underground base, I'm going to be looking for something about 15 to 20 range when I start building. Z, that's X and Z are kind of your X and Y coordinates in a map, but your X and Z are going to be your north, south, east, west directions. And if you notice F2, I'm facing north. So if I'm facing north and I go forward, you notice one of these X or Z numbers is going to change. So see, my Z, when I go north, my Z gets smaller, which means that my X is my east-west. You notice that I'm in a B for biome, that's taiga, and BL. Now BL is rather important if you're trying to avoid having monsters come in where you're at. If you notice, I got 11. Anything below an 8 and you're going to start seeing things. But let's get back to what we're looking at. I'm at level 35, and every time I dig down one, I'm going to go down 1 level. So if I dig out this next row and go down, it's going to read 34. So yep, 34. Now what I'm going to look for is going down to about 20. So I'm going to want to go down at least 14 to 19 more levels. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that, and I'm going to go ahead and collect this coal while I'm here. Now if you want to, try to get used to using the buttons, left, right, up, down. When you're fighting monsters, if you're anything like me, what you're going to be doing is your fingers are going to kind of go the wrong direction. You're going to be trying to go backwards, and you're going to end up pressing the forward button. Don't worry about that. You'll get used to it over time. And when you're used to it, then you'll stop making those mistakes and you'll have a much easier time. Then it's time to start going exploring once you got the keys down. Don't try and go exploring too early. If you do, you'll probably have a hard time about it. Now I'm going to close in these bottom, because I like to keep my things filled in to avoid monsters from spawning. Now if you notice, this also shouldn't be open, and this one, so I want to go 1, 2, 3. Now let's keep that nice staircase going there, so not that one, but that one. And if I can just catch it, there we go. There's where we're going. So I'm going to press S to go backwards, and now you notice that our meat pops are down with 3 black. So I'm going to go ahead and eat one of my steaks, and I'm back up to full power for my food. And we just broke our pickaxe, but as we made more, we don't need to go back upstairs. So I'm going to just press the shift key, hold this, press, and it'll go down in the bottom slot. but I am going to place a torch, go back to 1, and we're going to continue going. Now we wanted to go down 15 to 20 more levels about, so we'll just go ahead and keep digging for a little bit more. Now what I'm doing here is, when you get down to certain levels, different things start showing up. The further down you go, the more valuable the resources you're going to find. You're going to find diamonds down in the lower depths. And again, there's some gravel. We don't really need that at this point, so we're going to just go ahead and leave that there. You're going to use gravel to get flint, but until you have a bow and arrow, flint's not very that useful to you. There is, of course, flint and steel, but we'll probably have plenty of flint before we even get to the point where we need that. So again, we're going to use the shovel to dig out any gravel that we come across. And there, that's flint right there. And that's going to come in useful later, when we're making flint and steel, or when we're making bows and arrows. So go ahead and make sure you collect that. And as a general good idea, don't try and like throw resources away unless you're absolutely sure you don't need them. When you cut down trees and you find the saplings, or if you cut down oak and you find apples, even if you're not really that interested in it, just go ahead and collect it. Go ahead and make a treasure chest or a chest box and throw everything in there you don't really require, and you can get back to it at a later time. So we're just going to keep digging down for a bit, and I might cut out here for a little bit, but now if you listen really carefully, I almost heard like a bubbling sound. Hear that little thing? It sounds like a pressure cooker, and then every once in a while you hear a little bubbling. That indicates that we're close to lava, so I'm going to make sure I collect, as I go down each level, I'm going to collect these, because if I run into lava, I don't want to lose my resources. Hear that little bubbling sound? That's lava. So I'm going to go ahead and place a torch and be more careful about things when I'm digging out here. So be ready to run if you have to. Okay, and what sound we hear in the background, that's a zombie. I'm going to go ahead and dig that out, but that's only so that... Okay. I don't want to lose my... So I'm going to... And again, I'm just using the standard keys and press... Actually, I didn't need that piece. That piece did need to come out. Okay. So go ahead and dig that and that. And see, sometimes I place things that I need to dig back out. Not a big deal. Just go ahead and dig it back out. It is a waste of a couple strikes of a tool, but it doesn't matter. Each tool has a certain number of uses, or number of blocks it can break before it itself breaks. And these stone tools are pretty cheap. Not as cheap as wooden tools, but pretty cheap. So we're going to press our F3 button again and see where we're at. And we're at level 14. Okay. Usually, this is the level I'm going to make my home at, level 15. But 14 ought to be okay as well. Now, the problem with when we get down to this level is, this is where we're going to start running into lava. And that's one of the reasons I don't want to go down too much further, is because if I need a large open space, it's much easier to do that above the common lava levels. So go ahead and dig this out and place a torch here to make sure no monsters come in case we have to leave. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to clear out a space here to replace my upstairs space. And this is going to be our new home. Now, you might ask, why am I building my home below ground? Up ground has all the trees. Go ahead and replace this pickaxe. So if I make my home down here, aren't I like losing all the weather, the rivers? But the answer is that in this game you're going to spend a lot of time doing a couple different tasks. You're going to be collecting resources, and other things, but most everything that you're going to do in this game you can do above ground and below ground. And there, that red one, that's called redstone. Now you might ask, why don't I just click that now? And the reason I'm not going to click that now is because I do not have my iron pickaxe yet, because we haven't... Look at that, right there. Okay, nothing's going to come through there because... But this is actually very good for us, because it means that we're kind of above this, and this is a good place to stop anyways. And also this gives us lava, and I'll show you how to use lava here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and we're going to close that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the stairs. So I'm going to go stair, stair, and I'm going to just work my way back up. So I'll probably fast forward this bit. It shouldn't really, otherwise it might be a little boring to you. Again, just select, right click to place, select, right place, and then just make sure you're pointing down when you do this, because if you point up, you're going to get the stair placed upside down. So don't do that. When you're placing the stair, hit the bottom piece and it'll just keep going correctly. So let's just go ahead and place these all the way up. And this is just going to make it where we can travel up and down much quicker. So I'll probably fast forward this bit. Don't know if you can hear the wind outside. It's pretty windy here today. Although for a March it's very warm. As you see, we're almost out of stairs. That's fine. What we're going to end up doing is we'll just make a few more. We'll count our way up and see how many more we need when we get to the top. We'll make those and place them on the next trip up and down. And that was the last stair. So go and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We need 19 more steps. Okay. Now, we can go ahead and bring all this stuff down. You might ask, well, why everything? But we're going to actually move all our facilities down to the basement area. Now, if you notice, we also had water down there, so I'll go ahead and collect this as well. Use the pickaxe for collecting that, and this one you can use anything to hit your bench and collect it. And it's daytime, but I don't really need anything out there at this point, so let's just go down. And I forgot how many stairs I needed. I'll scroll back and figure that out again. You might ask, why would I even bother with stairs? One, it's going to make it where I don't have to keep jumping. So let's go ahead and place... Okay, we're going to place the chest, and I'm going to leave a space because we're going to go with double wide chest. Then I'm going to place the workbench. That'll give me 2 spaces for a chest. And let's go ahead and place our furnace down. And we can always move the furnace later. So we'll place it there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place 1 coal and the iron ore. and if you notice, when it's done, it's only going to cook 8 pieces. I'm going to go ahead and make the other chest now. Again, the right click, hold, drag and drop. And I'm going to take and place the things in there we don't really require on us. Snowball, fences, doors, saplings. Don't really need that, or that, or that. Probably drop the gravel. Mostly cobblestone. Although cobblestone, I'm going to end up with so much cobblestone that I generally take and place it in its own area. Same thing with the gravel and the dirt, although I get much less of that. And let's go ahead and put the coal there. You might ask why. As you saw below us, there's a bunch of lava, and you just heard a small animal dying down there. And there's always a chance that I could end up here. Let's leave the axe. We don't really need that on us as well. There's always a chance I could fall in and get myself killed. And let's go ahead and make up. Okay, so we're going to left click, go across. It's going to evenly divide, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a bunch of pickaxes and a couple of shovels. And then I'm going to look here, see, and it only cooked up 8 pieces. Now I'll just leave that there for now, because I'm probably going to come back and do that later. Now with 8 pieces, there's a couple things I want to make. First is, to get some things I need an iron pickaxe. Oops, I'm out of sticks, only one left. So let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and go ahead and make 6. So first I'm going to make myself an iron pickaxe, same pattern as we used for the other ones. And I'm not going to replace the stone pickaxes. I usually use stone pickaxes for general work, and I use iron or diamond pickaxes for collecting more important stuff until I have a lot of resources, and then I start using iron or diamond for everything. Now I have 5 iron ingots, but there's a couple different things I can do with this. I can either start making armor, or I can start using it to collect and make things like buckets to collect water. What I'm going to do is, at first here, I'm going to make a bucket, because I need water for growing my crops quicker. And let's go ahead and place the remaining pieces in here, because 2 is not enough to do anything except for make. Now if you notice, I can hit that, it's not really going to break. If I hit that with the iron pickaxe, I get these redstone. Redstone's not really going to help us out much here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and right below the redstone we're going to find this, lapis. Lapis lazuli, or as most people call it, useless lapis, is just a coloring agent. So let's go ahead and jump, place the blocks, and if we messed up, we'll place 2 down, and go ahead and fill that in. So the redstone, that's going to be used for powered circuits later. The lapis is going to be used for coloring, but we don't need those right now. What I do want is I want that bucket of water, and I want to make myself a little farmland down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out a space here. And I'm going to make myself a little farmland. Now, it would help if I actually... all I have is 10? Okay, well, a couple things here. One, that's where I'm going to place my water. And I'll go upstairs at some point and collect some more. So what I want to do, here, let's take and we can use this door to seal this off. Okay, not exactly what I wanted. Let's go ahead and dig down one more. Now if you notice, the door won't actually push us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially just make myself a doorway. And from here, we're at a good start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close it for now, and then next time we're going to go get some more dirt. We're going to go collect some water and start growing things and have more fun. But we're at a really good place. We've got the beginnings of our home, and all we need to do is make some more stairs in and out. So we'll pick up from here next time. Until then, enjoy and see you again.